peace, power, and love. Humam Abdulmalik, once again, the Blackanized Report, the other half of Black Report of Malik and Malik. This morning, I'm kind of in a sabbatical, in a kind of peaceful abode, trying to find some light, some natural light, some eternal light to make my life bright, to be on the pathway, to be the guiding light, or one of the guiding lights to help my people to come into a natural state of being, to understand who we are as divine beings. In our predicament and circumstances that we are faced with on a holistic scale in a system that don't have our best interests at heart, especially us as black people. I mean, everyone suffers from the trickery and deception of this system of hypocrisy, but mainly us as a black people or black race or whatever, excuse me for the whatever, even though I'll use that word instead of that word I'm trying to get out of my vocabulary. Even though everyone else is affected by this virus of a genome primate called racism. It's a virus, a sickness that they have instituted in this system that's because it affects them in their nature of being beast-like or whatever. It came again, whatever. Oh, Lord. Their nature as a beast of the genome primate bloodline. If we understand that nature of them, then we must be aware of their activities, be aware of why they do what they do, how they treat us as a people, since they overcame us during ancient times when we allowed them within our ranks and taught them. Taught the Greeks first and foremost, or the so-called Jews, the Hyksos. We was at war with them first. They was the first to try to invade us in ancient Kemet. Then along came the Greeks, but they came as students first. Then they came back as warriors, the warrior clan of Alexander the Great. Let me see something. I wanted this to get a little more substance of here. But since that time of ancient times, we always been in opposition to these people because of their nature, and our nature is not the same nature. Wherever we went, we was in a state of peace and harmony, especially back then when we were led in a matriarchic, melanated way, where our sister had a lot of power in her magic of the harmony that she possessed, that she blessed the environment with, the guidance and things of that nature. Our sister elevated us and elevated the nation. I want to say good morning to Hardy Balsalow. I call him Oski though, the gas god, the master of the digital world, the master of hip-hop in DC. You got to know him through me, or you got to know him and his capabilities. One of the greatest people I know on the planet. And also coming in is Melinda Shadid. I say Salaam Alaikum, Hotep Ashe. But that's another word I'm trying to get out of my vocabulary, that but and whatever. Don't need them. They're like commas or something. It should give me another thought to bypass them. But did it twice like I did the other words. So that's the end of that. But anyway, I'd like to thank these two great, and Justice Love. Thank y'all for coming in. Good morning, young sir. Good morning, Justice Love, and good morning back to you. Harry D. Balls Low. Good morning to you, sir. I'm like on a sabbatical, but I can't never stop my broadcast to uplift us, motivate, stimulate, and agitate us to come into the understanding of who we are, of our universe, so that we can rehearse, like the brother just said, we can rehearse love and self-healing, what we got to do. That's what we have to do to get back to our nature, get back to our understanding of who we are as a people. We have to understand our divine nature and our divine origin, so that we, in this modern day time, can be in alignment with what's going on with this outburst of energy, this outburst of being in the age of Aquarius and understanding energetic power, understanding divine energetic power. I want to say Hotep and Ashe to Brother Samuel Aguirre. I don't want to mess up your name, so I ain't going to say your last name. But I'm glad you're in this morning. And if anybody want to have an input to also have something to say or share, then do that, because this is what it's about. It's about still sharpening steel. And we can't be still in our movement. We got to come together on all levels of endeavor. We got to share with the knowledge, and we can't hoard anything, not in this day and time. We got to be manifesting love and self-healing amongst us, so that we can grow in our minds, bodies, and spirits. And once we purify ourselves in that order, then we can come in our communities, outside of our houses and outside from our family, to come to our extended family in our communities and help purify and clean up our communities. That's the only way that we're going to clean up our communities, through self-love and self-healing. The slave catchers ain't going to do it. The politicians ain't going to do it. We have to do it as a community. And matter of factly, those people I just mentioned, I ain't going to deal with the slave catchers, because they done sold their soul. They really working for the system. But the politicians, as long as they have an attitude and a mentality, I say, of a Ron Dellums, a Marion Barry, people like that, and I'll say Trayon White, the young new entity that's in that political realm, that's very politically astute, and one of those who was under the tutelage of a great mind, a great politician of all time, in this United Snakes of hypocrisy. See, we can't have nobody that can be brought and will sell their soul and become nigger Europeans and be under robot control. We can't have that in this day and time. I'd like to thank Christopher Walden for coming in. I say Hotep, Assalamu Alaikum, Salam, whatever, Black Power. We need everyone to be a part of this movement. This movement is for self-salvation. This movement is for us as a people to come together, develop our communities, develop our homes, and do what we have to do to maintain it. We have to build an infrastructure. Within this infrastructure that we find ourselves in the United Snakes of hypocrisy under satanic administration, we must go back to the ancient future and deal with our the annals of our ancestors by divine decree in Black African spirituality. We cannot let religions divide and conquer us because we Muslim, because we Jew or Christian, or all Israel, Hebrew Israelites. We cannot separate ourselves. We have to come together based not on religion. This is man-made, political, man-made qualities of so-called spirituality. But man cannot make spirituality. Spirituality is already imprinted in our DNA by divine decree. spirituality is just like the nature of that tree behind us. And I was reading something the other day that they said these pine trees don't really come from here. Pine trees and another tree. I got to research that. But 3 times I'm out. I done said that word, which I ain't. I'd rather say ain't than but. But we must develop on those levels I was just talking about, but we got to go back. We got to go black. Really, we got to go black to go back, or we got to go back to go black. In essence of our cleansing ourselves of and ridding ourselves of what we've been taught. We've been programmed in a certain way, like a computer, right? Our brain is like a computer. Whatever you put in it, the data that it receives, you can eat stuff that deal with you. Then you can look at stuff that tells you what to do through television, and you listen to stuff. And whatever you put in your system, it's going to come out in words, actions, or deeds. And mainly, like when you be having those earphones on your ear, and whatever you be listening to, you be recording that. And it becomes like that data that you be putting in the computer, and you be programming yourself. And we already been programmed through social engineering, social narcotics. Since we were small babies coming into the world, the first thing when we come in the hospital, what they do, they spank us. Then what they do, the next thing they want to do is give us vaccinations. What they be putting in us. And this was puzzling to me. How can you put the flu in me to combat the flu or a virus? You put a virus in me to combat a virus. Does that make sense to me? No, it doesn't. It's not common sense or natural sense. I guess they say that for your immune system to attack that which they put into you, but they didn't put it into you. Then when it come into you, it's already in your system, but your immune system is familiar with it. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. That's why I'm not in the doctor field. I just have a PhD in streetology, and I apologize for I don't have that understanding to really go into depth of how can they vaccinate us with certain things, and then it's to combat the illness or the virus that they say that's in the air or whatever. But we got to realize that they create everything in laboratories. Like they created the syphilis and what else? The HIV thing. I ain't gonna say they created syphilis, but they experimented on our brothers down in Tuskegee with the syphilis vaccination. They put syphilis in them. Then they try to see how the effects that it will have upon them. And in that experiment, they didn't do nothing. They just watched them. But then in this other thing, like the HIV, this new thing that they got, that they put out about, 10 or 15, 20 years ago, maybe a little longer. But they created that in laboratories, military laboratories. One of them was Fort Detrick. And it's patented. All you got to do is look it up. They patent the HIV virus, and they put it in the environment to affect us, but then it got out of hand and affect them too. So we got to know that we're dealing with mad scientists in this political quadrum, or this quagmire deceptive maze that we be in on the Gerbil treadwheel or the carousel of life. And they created these situations for us to be discombobulated or off balance and not in accord with our own nature. When we become educated and indoctrinated and get in these Greek fraternities and all that, we go way away from our African spirituality. Our true nature is to get in contact with ourselves. How can we be who we are then when we take on another personality or persona or somebody else trying to be like them? Like the commercial, Be Like Mike, when he exploited the people and got so many people, so many children killed for a tennis shoe that he could have sold at a cheaper price. Like the brother Marlboro, the brother that played basketball, he had the same shoe almost made in the same factory, but with the same material. But he sold his for $80-something or $90, right? Somebody could afford. But they looked at him bad, right? But he went over China. They built a museum for this brother because of his greatness, of his humanity, humanitarian efforts to be a humanitarian and not do things like exploit the people. and know that the people getting killed because of your product is such a high price, and they commercialize lies and all that they were bombarded with through television. All the long lines you see all the time for Air Jordans, and he don't care nothing about us. Example of that, they trying to compare him and the guy LeBron James, right? So the comparison is on the basketball court playing games or who scored the most points. The comparison should be in the environments, in our cities. And here go one comparison. LeBron James has spent $14 million to send 1,000 children to school. Have I ever heard of Michael doing something of that significance? I haven't heard. I may be wrong. I haven't heard. Nobody's reported on anything like that. But I have heard that he have put money and brought into the prison for profits. I heard that, but I haven't heard anything else. I may be wrong, but I'm just saying the comparison should be a holistic comparison. Just not playing games on a basketball court, putting the ball in the hoop, away in the form of the people that's in control to keep our aspirations of our youth for a particular way to go in life. Instead of being doctors and scientists and all that, we want to be football players and basketball players, like the last poet said. While we playing ball, basketball, football, and baseball and all that, they're playing without testicles or so-called balls, and they control us. You know, it's like the emperors and the Roman gladiators, the football field, all that is just similar to that. We got to realize that. And all the money that we make as those athletes, and or not only in the athletic world, but in the movie world and the music world and all that money that we make, and what are we doing with it? Mostly the athletes are playing games, you know, playing the video games all day long. But we're not pooling our resources because we've been programmed not to do that. We've been programmed to be competitive instead of cooperative. We need to be cooperative as black peoples. Did I say something to Christopher Weldon and Nana Akwuku Agel and Oliver Nkwandi? Well, anyway, I want to say Hotep, Ashe, Namaste, Salam, Assalamu Alaikum, Black Power. This is what this is about. This is about nation building. And when I come on, that's what I'm about, because I'm a race man, I'm a black man, and I don't have no excuse for being who I am, and I don't have no apologetic nature to speak and be like I am. And I'm not speaking from a position of being a victim of anything, but we've been victimized by these people that they don't want us to realize who we are. This system we live under, this political system, this system of politics and hypocrisy is supposed to be about democracy. But some people say it's democracy, demiology, right? Instead of democracy, they say it's occultism and demiology because of what they practice in their secret societies. And that's why we got to be aware and protect our communities, because these people will take our children, take our women and our young boys for body parts and sex range. This is what they do. At the higher echelons of this society, that's the games that they play. That's a reality. The reality is that the Illuminati and all those things exist. That we got to realize of this thing of carbal states. We got to know what the carbal states is in the United Snakes of hypocrisy. Like in the District of Columbia, we got a flag, right? People don't know that those 3 stars represent carbal states because they don't study. They just go to school and have their own indoctrination of education of a Eurocentric persuasion. Nothing about themselves, nothing about we build pyramids. They don't even tell us how enormous Akabu land is, Exium, or what you want to call Africa. Don't you know Africa is a continent? United States consists of states. Africa consists of countries, and there's 53 countries over there where you can fit America, South America, in Africa, Russia, and a couple of more countries, and still have room. That's how enormous Africa is. That's how enormous we are as a people. That's how many people we just got in Africa. But realize that we are the original people upon the whole planet Earth. If you study and go into research, you'll see that the color of our skin was around the planet. And those people, the Chinese with the slanted eyes and all that, or the Japanese and all that, were us, dark skin. And we still over there, but they hide that. They don't want us to know our greatness. And we got to know our greatness through our own study. To be self-taught or home-school is the best thing to overcome being a fool. Because you can become an educated fool. Really, you can. And while I'm at it, I like to say this once again. I've been broadcasting this for like three going on 4 months now. That we must have a mass global boycott of the racist, terrorist, tyrannical, murdering, lynching system that we're under of the European persuasion. If you don't know, you better look and find out. Don't you know there have been about 6 or 7 lynchings in the last year or so? Lynching, I'm talking about hanging us because of their anger or through their power of, they think they got some power because they got a power-crazed maniac in this office that's ruling their land, that's sitting on the throne. And they think that he opened up the door for them to do what they want to do. The Ku Klux Klan and Earned Brotherhoods and all that, they're infiltrating the police forces around the country. That's the FBI said that. Another federal police, they said that, but they ain't doing nothing to lock them up or stop it. They just letting the people know. Why? I don't know why, but it's happening because they said so. They could be lying, they could be telling the truth, because they say, man, we got a thing called fake news. It's always been propaganda. But what I'm saying, we need to, for a global boycott, mass boycott, July the 1st. It's fast approaching us, and all we have to do is do it. This around locally, this don't spend our money in no corporation that we know that we should not support. Those corporations that's in our community that exploit us. Any racist corporation that we know, we just boycott it. We still should be boycotting the football season and all that. We should boycott this whole system. But we'll take it one step at a time, one phase at a time. We just do a national, local, and international boycott of all corporation that we know affiliated with racism, and we're talking about them Jews too, those fake Jews over there in Israel that took the land from the Palestinians. We're talking about anything, product, any company, we boycotting. Don't spend our money with that. And we find black businesses to spend our money with, and we grow from that, and we develop black Wall Streets around the country, around the world. We must be on a vibration, synergy and energy of unifying globally. This is the time to do that. This is the age of Aquarius, the age of the energetic, divine energy being opening up to the world, opening up to everybody on the planet of a melanated carbon design. It's in our DNA. All we just got to do is be still and listen and be. I am. Open up to who you are. Look in the mirror and reflect. And ask who you are, not just the body. The body is the temple. And within the temple is the energy of the Creator in the universe. We have everything that's outside of us is inside of us. The minerals and all that. We got iron, magnesium, all that within us. Just ask a doctor. You know, we got to realize who we are as a people. So July the 1st, which is fastly coming upon us, we need to just do it. Unify, be in sync, a spiritual awakening. A spiritual awakening that we just do everything like that, the boycott, just do it. Without question. To spend our money with black people, and in that period of time get more closer to black people through love and self-healing. I don't care about anybody else right now, any other ethnic group. It's our time now. Enough is enough. Nobody is getting really done in like us because they know us. They know who we are. Everybody know who we are on the planet. And we got to get into that energy, the knowledge of the divine essence of who we are. And it's all spiritual, mental, and physical. And we got to develop all those areas. But now it's about the energy. It's about the energy, and the proof of that. It's been here before. It's been here before where people were conscious and this and that and all that. But it wasn't the age of Aquarius. This is the age of Aquarius now. We got to be prepared for this energetic movement, this new paradigm, or the energy of the planets coming in line with each other, and the energy from that, and it's all divine, it's all natural. And we got to tap into our nature as a people. And it is a evolution process. But it don't have to be a violent revolution, which it is though, because we're in stages of it now. It's what they want. They want a police state, anarchy, or race war. We cannot give them what they want. We have to maneuver and direct what we want as a people, and how we going to deal with this situation of us coming back into ourselves, back into the divine beings that we are. And once we do that, then we take the power back from them and place it back in the matriarchic environment, a matriarchic spiritual essence, a ma'at balance. See, they have to relieve themselves of this power that they have, because they don't, they're going to destroy the world. But they don't care, because they're against nature. This is how mad and insane they are. That's why they play games with, or Russian roulette with the buttons, got their hands on the button to destroy the world. So they got a self-destructive nature. That's why they socially engineer our youth to be in a silent war with themselves on our street corners around the country, locally and around the country. But then we see how their police force, their slave catcher, will try to set up our youth, or using an agent provocateur to stand in the company of the youth and put a fake gun on him, and then come and pat him down, so they have reason to pat everybody else down. But I like the position of our young warriors to take a stand and say, I didn't do anything, and just because you're a slave catcher, man, don't put your hand on me. I ain't broke no law, I ain't committed no crime. And that's locally. I respect our young warriors, but we got to organize more so that we can stop killing each other in this silent war. One step at a time, one phase at a time. We got to develop self-love. We got to develop unity. We got to change our thinking, how we think, and what we say out of our mouths, the quotes we use. We have to do all that. We have to go show our young warriors that we love them, man. And we got to do this immediately, because now everything is accelerated. Everything is accelerated in the system for us and against us. We have to accelerate our self-healing and self-love. We have to accelerate that, because they're accelerating their racism. We done seen examples of their racism. We done seen them come out of the woodwork just by a word being said. It was like a cold word, and all of them come out, and they like on a witch hunt with blood coming from their fangs, like we got one, we got another one, we going to destroy, or something like that. See, their thing is they'll build you up and tear you down. But if they didn't build you up, they can't tear you down. And if you won't sell your soul to be brought, then they mad at you. That's what we got. We got a leader like that. And we got to surround that leader and support that leader and believe in that leader. If the leader does anything different from being a leader, then we'll address that issue. But right now, we got to support that brother and keep him up. Let me see. What else? What can I say? Also, July the 4th is also fast approaching us. And these two things go hand in hand. That we got to stop practicing all European holidays and religions and customs and all that. We got to get back to the ancient black spirituality. We have to go back to the ancient future in the annals of what our ancestors have left for us to reside and to live by. I'm talking about the truth is etched in stone. That's a saying that we heard for so long. Man, the time is to live by that truth. To live by that truth is to have a understanding of yourself, get to know yourself. That's what that's all about. We have to know ourselves. And once we know ourselves, we'll know that the energy of the Creator is in us, and that we got to deal with being divine beings, divine human beings, not kind of mankind. That's the problem. We let mankind, genome primate, take the power and control of the world when we are the controllers of the world. The world was once a black world. We have to take it back to a black world. They must be relieved of the power and their control on this planet. I'm talking about the Queen Elizabeth, the Vatican, all those European entities that control and manipulate the world, man. And it's a world affair, and it's a world war. But it's spiritual more so than anything else. Spiritual and mental. The physical is thing, that's what they do. They're warmongers. They like killing and seeing blood and all that because they're vampire millionaires. And they love blood. They love body parts because they're cannibalistic. See, we are mystic. We are mystery unto ourselves, but within our bloodline, we are mystics. We are healers. We are so powerful that we don't know our power. And all we got to do is tap into that energy. Tap into being an Imhotep, a multi-genius. We got so many young children that are doing so much, man, on the positive side. And that's, we got to get everybody on that same ride and the same mindset to be great. We got to get back to being great in our greatness and counter their concept of taking America back to when it was great. It was never great when they was in power. Only time that it was great is when we controlled it. When we controlled America, Africa, and everything, and had harmony and peace. We didn't have murder, stealing, and all that from each other. We didn't even have diseases until they came out the caves from messing with them animals, crossbreeding, and all that type of stuff. I don't mean no harm. I'm just speaking the truth. I'm not a racist. I'm a race man. And don't take me as a racist. Take me as a race man, a revolutionary, a evolutionary spiritual entity that is in line with who I am, a divine energy that's in me that I have submitted to. I'm an emissary, my Lord. I'm an emissary of my ancestors. I done read the things they have printed upon my DNA. I have accepted it, and I am of that bloodline. And I can't and won't go black. I won't go back, but I'm going black. I'm going black to the essence of who I am, and I'm just ashamed with you what's in me, the knowledge that I have perceived and received through research and just naturally. Because see, I'm not educated, I'm not indoctrinated, I'm self-taught. And if I'm this what I say I am, it's amazing, isn't it? To somewhat be who I am. People know me and people say a lot of things about me. And everything they say could be true if it is true, if it's not true. It is who I am. Your impression that I impressed upon you, my persona, have impressed upon you of something of my nature, of my understanding that I impressed upon you, but it's not from me, it's within me, coming from the divine decree that was established in me, that's established in each and every one of us as black men, women, and child. And that's what we got to get back to. We got to stop drinking the poisons, the liquor, the sodas. We got to purify ourselves, purify our temple, purify our minds, purify our thinking, and come back around to we have a divine essence and blessings. See, we can't let them build our aspirations up so much to be materialistically inclined when we're supposed to be spiritually inclined. That's the trickery of this nature, to have us wanting everything, the big car, the big house, and all that. That's trickery. See, the trick is the trap, and the trap is the trick. And we got to come from out of all that and walk on another path, a divine path. And I like to say good morning, and I'm going to say in the name of Christ, and Salamu Alaikum, and all that to my good brother Kenneth McIntyre, because I know he is a churchgoer, so I got to respect that. So we got to respect each and every one of us, whatever vine or fig tree we be under. I love this brother. I don't care if he's a Christian, Muslim, or Jew. I love him because of his character and his personality too. And I go back years. I ain't been around him, but I know the energy when we confront each other is in peace and love. I ain't got to worry about that brother knocking my head off or robbing me or something like that. Because we have a specific type of energy that we submit our wills to divine energy. Whatever we call, whatever we vine tree that we under, we are divinely inclined. And that's in our mind, bodies, and perspective. And I just want to say always, Hotep, and peace to you, Brother Kenneth. Good brother. Him and his brother I went to school with in junior high and stuff like that. And wherever we at, what I'm saying, we got to promote it. We got to promote this global mass boycott. Wherever part of the city we in, whatever part of the country we in, whatever part of the globe we on. I'm talking about Abdul Rahman. He's in Ghana. I'm talking about Alpha Cuba. He's in the United Kingdom. I know y'all hear me. I know y'all be, looking, because I be looking y'all. We connected. So we got to promote this. And my good sister in New York, Kendra Silver, I know she on it. She says she on it. And everybody just got to be on it and be just synchronized, man. On July the 1st, boom, just do it. 12 o'clock, just do it. And just do it for 21 days, this boycott. And we want to see the effect we had. If 1 million of us do this, if 2 million of us do this, if 3 million of us do this worldwide, what kind of effect would that have? I don't care if the other ones say, we're going to do it, we're going to stay, we ain't doing that and this and that and all that, because they've been so programmed and under robot control and become Negro pins. And we got to come out of that perspective, out of that thinking. We have to become blackanized and realize who we are. We have to. We don't have a choice in the matter, because if we don't, we're going to just continue to be dying at their hands and at our own hands. Our own dying comes from social engineering. It's too much going on every day. We got to get to the why of that and deal with the what. There's no way possible that we're going to be killing each other every day for some drug money or something like that. That is very asinine, or, I call myself super stupid sometimes, and sometimes I say I'm dumbfounded, because sometimes dumbness found me, but not to that degree. And we got to become mentally free, and we can't let them program us. We got to break the program. We got to break away from all the indoctrination that they got. We got to relearn. We got to take out or regurgitate. Or no, we got to get all the information that we have learned from out of our psychic and relearn. We got to relearn ourselves, and we got to, all the education and all that we got to look at it for what it is. It's indoctrination of a Eurocentric persuasion perspective, not a natural human kind of education or whatever. It's a kind of man, humankind. And that's unkind, and it's been unkind to us for centuries, for millenniums. And then they come back and they attack us on different levels. They're attacking us in the food, in the water, in the education, in the religion. We're being attacked in all those areas as black people, because they don't want us to come back to being the essence of black people, the divine nature of black people, living in harmony with ourselves, with the matriarchic melanated queen being in the head of the family and being the guide of the family, and having that ma'at of the family with the man of the family, the balance of ma'at, truth, equality, and harmony and peace. Only way we can get that is we practice what we're supposed to practice as a melanated, carbonated people, a people of divine energy. We have to go back to the ancient future to reestablish ourselves when we had established a foundation, federations. We didn't chop up the land and say this is a borderline and we can't come past and you got to do this and you got to get a passport to go there and all that. What these people doing is trying to reduplicate and replicate what we had, because it's so great that they stole everything. The things that they've run this system on now today is the information that they stole from us, the information that they got under the Vatican and miles of subterranean tunnels, and all the gold that over in England that the Queen of England got. She stole all that stuff from us, and all the lands that we controlled was in our possession, not to control but live upon and be in harmony with nature. But they came, and the beast of their nature is to destroy nature, anything and everything in nature, because they suffer from exophobia, coming out the cage with them wolves and this and that, and being cannibalistic and practicing bestiality, and then pedophilia and all this of their, it's their nature. Homosexuality is part of their nature, and then we get around and they through social engineering and education and their fraternities and their secret societies, they pull us into that and attract us to that through their materialistic wealth or whatever, and want us to be like that and base everything on materialism. And we can't do that. And we have to go black to our natural selves and be soulful. We got to holler black power, black unity. Everything must be based on our blackness. And we have to do this yesterday. So in my final moments on this broadcast, I just like to say July the 1st, for 21 days, a mass global boycott to spread the word, that this seed be planted in the conscious and subconscious of our people around the globe, locally, nationally, and internationally, and let it be cultivated by those who share this word, around the country, locally, and around the globe. They spread it out that we gonna do this. We just gonna boycott this system of racism, of terrorism, of murderers. We're going to boycott for 21 days and see the effects that we have upon it. So that's July the 1st for 21 days. I'd like to say good morning, assalamu alaikum, hotep, namaste to brother Reggie Nelson. And along with that, in the boycott, we also going to kill 2 European perceptions in one action, being proactive. We're not going to practice any more European holidays, beginning with this one coming up, July the 4th. Don't go spend your money on some fireworks. Don't even think like we celebrating a day of independence, because it wasn't our independence that this country is celebrating. During that time we was in captivity. They said it was slavery when that occurred. When they gained their independence, their so-called independence from England. But if you look underneath, or when they go in back rooms and make deals under the table or whatever, or grease the palms that we know about what they do today, America is a corporation of England. Look it up. Just don't listen to my words. Look it up. Research and find out the truth of this hypocritical nation that we live under. United Snakes of hypocrisy under satanic administrations. We have to look it up. We're at war. It's a silent war. A war that is on all levels. We're at war. They're trying to control our food, trying to poison us through the food, trying to poison us through the water. They dealing with the stuff coming out the air, the chemtrails. The education system is dumbing down our children. And, a lot of our children are geniuses already, so they get through it or whatever. But they're still being programmed in a Eurocentric manner, the education and in the religious realm. And we can't do that. And there go my old buddy, Andre Gore. We go way back. We was in, let me see, was that junior college or something like that? Victor Harris, I know you call him. Me and him been talking because he was in college. He went through a long program in college, like 40 years. And me and him we've been talking about you because I know we was in junior college together. It's always a pleasure and an honor to see this successful black man, Andre Gore, who has a corporation or business that's very, very well instituted in society, who hasn't sold his soul or who can't be brought. Successful black businessman, I would say, I would say peace, and I would say Assalamu alaikum, Hotep, Nas Masti, and I would say all those good things, which in a short prayer, Mr. Gore. But we as a people, as black people, must be successful, and we must unite in our success. We can't be egotistical or arrogant or none of those things. We have to be cooperative and not competitive. We must do this yesterday because enough is enough. And we see that these people don't care nothing about us. They don't even care about each other. But we must. We must care about each other. We must come back into the essence of who we are as a people, geared to uplifting each other. Here's a little tidbit. They always say, y'all act like crabs in a pot pulling each one down. You got to turn them concepts around. We got to look at that crab trying to be strong enough, trying to pull up his brothers out of that boiling water or whatever. And they just making a chain, linking a chain. They doing things instinctively. You know, if they had some rational thinking behind it, they will succeed in their endeavor. But we got to change concepts. It ain't like a crab pulling one down and all that. It's a crab pulling one up who's trying to develop strength to help and pull the other ones up out of there. We got to look at it different. We got to reverse everything concept that they gave or they say. We got to reverse that stuff. We got to reverse their saying about voodoo, a warlock, juju, all that. Because they got it and made it what it is. Talking about it, they put a evil connotation on it. But we used it to heal each other. Not to kill each other, but to heal each other. But in their methodology of mass mind control through the CIA and all those alphabet clans or alphabet boys that they have trained to deal with mass mind control and all that through social engineering and social narcotics that they inject into the minds and bodies of us from infancy up to life if we don't wake up and accept who we are as a divine people. If we don't get into the essence of us, of who we are, then we won't get the blessings that's there for us. That this divine energy that's in us, in the temple. If we don't connect into that by a natural, simplistic process and stop letting people misguide us and use us to destroy us, really. Not allow us to get in tune with our nature. Once we get in tune with our nature, then everything become natural. Our growth and development will be a natural process. But see, they want to stun our growth and don't want us to tap into that superior energy because they know we're divine people. Know that we have a divine flow. Our blood flow is divine. We have melanin. We are sun people, people of the sun, children of the sun. And those in the control, they scared, they run from the sun. That's why they got to put lotion on them to protect their skins and all that. And another thing going on, their death rate is greater than their birth rate. The European death rate is greater than his birth rate. Us, on the other hand, our birth rate is in second place with the Spanish or whatever, and then what they doing, they trying to kill us off through, first they start with abortion. They don't want us to come in through the pathway of life, so they got our sister aborting our children. That's murder. Then they got all these drugs in the food, in the water, and from come to chemtrail. It's about population control with those of soul. We got to realize that. We can't be so foolish no more and be in their foolery anymore. We got to take a stand right now. Because enough is enough. We see their racism. They sticking their chests out now. The hillbillies and everybody else, the skinheads and the Ku Klux Klan and all them, the white nationalists and all that. But whatever they do, they can't do it to us when we are unified. Because we are divine people. And we are protected by that divinity. It's an aura that we have when we get in connect to our divine selves. We got our ancestors protecting us. They call them angels, but we know they are our ancestors. See, they don't want us to know that when we pass, we don't go nowhere but back into the energy and that energy is in us anyway. So we are connected through the physical and the spiritual and the mental. And once we understand that, then we understand the universe and our connection to ourselves within, so that we have a profound effect upon this universe that they control. So their power is evaporating. We just got to accelerate it to save the earth and save our generations of next future leaders. That's what we must do. That's what we got to do. This is a revolutionary movement. And I want to say Assalamu alaikum, rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, the brother Muhammad Abdullah. Thank you for joining in, brother. I think I seen you a couple of your posts, and alhamdulillah for your endeavor to uplift us as a people from your Islamic persuasion. And again, I say, I don't care if who is that, Brino me, Hotep, Namaste to this beautiful matriarchal queen. Me, personally, see, religion don't have no meaning to me no more. I don't care if we're Muslims, Christian, or Jew. As human beings, as African or black, whatever we want to call ourselves, we as that ethnic group have a divine essence that is our divine blessings. So we must, on that level, unify on that level. We can practice what we practice, because there's only one creator. One creator. For all the names and labels that we give it, it doesn't mean nothing. It's one creator. And that one creator is in each and every one of us in the temples. In our temple, which is our body, this universe and the chambers and the pyramids of our mind, we have to know that we are designed by the divine essence of this one divine intelligence or being or whatever. And through our man's, Assalamu alaikum, brother, I support you. Brother, coming from you, I say alhamdulillah. But if you support me, support the movement, the world movement that we're doing this boycott, July the 1st. It's not me, it's us. I apologize. I got a little twisted there. I thank you for the support of me, but it's us as a people, one people. And see, we can't become egotistic or self-centered or arrogant or none of that. The movement I'm talking about is this global boycott. We boycotting this nation worldwide and all the entities that's related to this nation, the Vatican, London, all European nations that are terrorists on this planet. They terrorize the people, they kill the people, and they murder the people. Talking about the international bankers, those that's over in, Jerusalem, that's terrorizing the Palestinians. But I'm talking about from the perspective of black people. Black people united on this whole planet Earth. I would say people of color, but I want to say very distinctly black people, and not those black people that become Americanized or sell their soul and become Negro-Pans. I'm talking about black people that deals with the essence of who we are as black people, the divine people that we are. The people that open ourselves up to this divine energy and become united in love and self-healing. Not to be stealing from each other, not to sell our souls from each other, not to base our livelihood on just attaining the money and the materialistic wealth and all that. But black people that love black people, because we are black people, and we know that we are divine people, and we are tired. We are sick and tired of them doing these things to us to get us sick and tired. From the chemtrails in the sky coming down, from the lead and water, from the GMO foods, they taking the seeds out of the food for us to eat. They trying to control us. They trying to control every avenue of our livelihood. They want us to go to school and become educated fools. They want us to go to school and become get into freak Greek fraternities. Man, we can't do that. We got to go back to the ancient future and deal with a Kemetic mentality where the truth is etched in stone. Where when you go into the schools of learning, you got to know thyself. And when you know thyself, you know that your DNA is a divine prescript from the Creator. And that's what we got to tap into. We got to tap into our nature and become natural. That's all we have to do. We can't do or wait any longer. We have to unify. It'll be like we all be connected in one synergy, one energy, one thought, one purpose, one aim, and one deity. and one people. See, we got to heal our people because they've been killing our people for so long. They've been miseducating our people for so long. They be through social engineering, but we got to stop that. We got to take back control of our lives and our identity. And we got to identify with each other and love one another in a revolutionary, evolutionary process. So, with that, Assalamu alaikum, brother Muhammad Abdallah, and since we together, let's promote that we're going to do a world global boycott against the terrorism, the murder, the racism of all European nations on the planet. And then not only that, we're going to stop practicing all their holidays and their customs and their religions. And we're going to come together based on our blackness and going back to ancient African spirituality or Akabulan or Exium. We want to go back as far as Pangean, when all the lands was connected. We want to go back to where it was a black planet at one time. We want to go back into before these people was cloned or whatever they was to become a mankind, a kind of man. And they came out the caves and with their bestiality and their cannibalism. We want to go that far back and bring it to the future. We want to go back to the future and have a profound effect on the now, right now. We want to do that in love, peace, and harmony, in a matriarchic way, in a way of brotherhood, in a way that'll be so peaceful, so natural. Because Malcolm said it would be the ballot or the bullet. In the last few years, I just been watching the political machinery dealing with the ballot. Some aspects it was good, but then another aspect it was bad. We can look at it now and see what it is. But the hypocrisy is much greater than the democracy that it's supposed to be based on. And so, July the 4th, don't forget July the 4th is a holiday that we're going to begin. It'll be the run that we will say, how many of us will not buy fireworks, not go down the monument, wherever they shoot fireworks, we don't support that. Because it ain't about our freedom. When they did that, we was in captivity. Never forget that. Listen to that great oratorial speech by Frederick Douglass when he talked about the 4th of July. If you can't read, get somebody to read it to you, then you'll get a better understanding of why we shouldn't do this. And that's the beginning of it. We should not practice none of the holidays. So with that, in my sabbatical, my retreat that I had to go to, because I'm trying to defeat all negative qualities that I have. And one of them is cussing. That's the last one, I believe, because I stopped smoking cigarettes, I stopped drinking, stopped smoking or drug, marijuana and all that. Only thing I can't get out because it's in me. I don't know how to deal with the other things was outside of me. So it got to be connected to somewhere within myself that this cussing thing got to stop. And I got to develop my vocabulary, take words, delete words from my vocabulary, and that's hard too. Or should I delete these words? I got. That's why I'm on this sabbatical. And I want to say I love myself. I love all my people. And this brother right here just came on. Woo, it's a lot of brothers that I met in the digital world, man. I'm telling the knowledge, the power, the synergy and vibrations that you all have with the little bit of knowledge I have. Because like my brother Dodd said, I'm a master student. We have master teachers and this and that. I'm a master student, and I learn from each and every one of these brothers I meet in the digital world to have something to offer. This brother, a great poet, man. His poet is like a lecture, man. Awesome, man. His name is Bomi Kiyasha. Man, thank you, my brother. Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah. Brother Muhammad is saying we love you too, big brother. And man, this is worldwide. My love is for my people on this whole planet. And see, it's just like that. It's just like that's what it is. When you come into yourself, you know that the energy, that the currency is universal, because it's a divine energy. And this divine energy is connected. It connects us to synergy, vibration, and frequencies. And that's what we got to realize. And that's why we can do this worldwide global boycott of all European nations that are terrorizing the people on the planet, murdering the people on the planet, kidnapping the people for body parts and for sex rings and all that. And that's the reality that we're fighting against. It's like playing a chess game. And we're countering, moving everything. It's our move now as a people. We doing that, and we elevating ourselves. And this ain't just begun. This is a continuation of our struggle of thousands of years since we've been in contact with these people. But this day and this time, in the age of Aquarius, we must make this move, because the energy, the development of a divine energy is being given to us for us to make this move. In the annals of time of our ancestors, it's written. It is written for us to take this stand now. Stand and do something. You know, it's that time, man. It is our time, the people's time. It is the people's power is the power that we need. And I'm talking about the people, black people. It got to be black power again. See, they distorted they had agent provocateurs and all that to infiltrate our organization. But never again. Negro pins and agent provocateurs, we're not having that again. Never again. Because we're not going to have a situation where you can do that again. The people will exact the law of the wrath of the Creator, of our Lord. We're going by divine laws now. And you can act like a clown in a circus if you want to. See, we're no longer on that Goebbels turn wheel, on the carousel of the life that they created. No longer are we laws in the quagmire deceptive maze that they built. And we're not a maze of their materialistic wealth that they try to use as a card and dangle in front of us. No, not no more. Not today. I just want to say Hotep and Namaste to this brother I just met in the digital world, man. Bomani, Kiyasa, man, powerful brother, man. Love you, brother. And with that, I'm gonna go because I want to take me a nap because I got up kind of early, but I'm resting now. I'm trying to rest because I'm doing a lot of things, being more proactive than I ever been in my life. And every time, all time is on time because everything by divine decree. I know with me, because I know what happened to me with the energy. It took me this progress at this time, that the energy that came into me to open my third eye. And so I don't know how long I will be here in this realm or dimension, but I don't even care, because I know what I'm going to do and who I am as an emissary of the Lord and the divine man, a divine spiritual man that's here. And I'm a warrior for my people, of my people, from the annals of the history of my ancestors. And all my ancestors that's in me, Nat Turner, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and Shaka Zulu, and all of them, Queen Azinga, all of them, Queen Amina, Nefertiti, all of them, Imhotep, all of them, Asar, Set, and Heru, all my ancestors that's in me. I call on them to give me the power to convey the truth by divine decree from the Creator, to lead me in a righteous manner, to give me the power to deal with truth to power, no matter what they do or whatever. However they do it, it won't stop me. And you have a great day too, my brother, my beloved brother. I want to say Salaam Alaikum, Hotep, Ashe, Namaste, Shalom, peace, peace. In the light of Christ, I should go running. That's what I should do. But anyway, excuse me. You know, it got to be on all levels that we work in, mental, physical, and spiritual. I can't deal with one and not deal with the others. But with that, I say, don't forget July the 1st, mass world boycott, global boycott, world, this whole globe. Whether it's flat or round, don't make no difference. We're going to boycott. Just keep promoting it. Keep promoting and planting seeds wherever you're at on the planet. Wherever black person on the planet that know himself and know the divine essence of himself and the currency and the frequency that we are related to each other, plant that seed. We're going to do that. We're just going to do it. And don't forget, July the 4th, don't even buy no fireworks and all that. We're going to start practicing their holidays. Beginning with the 4th of July, then Thanksgiving, then Christmas, then Easter, then everyone, Halloween, all that. We're going to stop all that. We're going back to the future. I say amen. Hallelujah. Black power, black peace, and black love. Assalamu alaikum. Ashe, Hotep, Namaste. Shalom. See you tomorrow. Peace.